I'm John Fazzolari, Fazzolari Custom Homes and Renovations. We are in Southeast Portland taking care of a little exterior project that we need to fix for the clients here. This is an old home, probably built in the 1920s, where they added a basement about 40 years later. Well, what they've experienced the last 20-25 years is a little bit of water starting to seep in the basement. Homes back then weren't quite waterproof the way they are today. Initially, the client took care of it on the inside of the house, but it really didn't stop the water from penetrating on the outside. Now, we're going to open up the outside of the house, make sure it's taken care of, and they'll never see this problem again. Well, we're inside the basement. Now you can see the problem that we're having to deal with. We've got water intrusion along the entire wall. And then especially you'll see it down in these corners wherever there's what we call a cold joint on the concrete, or where one piece of mortar has been put together and then another one placed up against it at a later date. So that's real prone to a problem. Obviously the waterproofing on the outside is going to take care of that. You'll also notice that we ended up having to tear out the window. This had dry rot around the entire wall. Concrete, cinder block, any of that is not waterproof. In fact, it's going to absorb a lot of the water. So the damage was just wicked up right into the window. So we're going to replace this with pressure treated material. We're going to seal it all in place, and then we're going to put ourselves a nice block on the outside to keep water from flowing down to the window. Well, the number one thing, again, when we're down here, we want to get the water away from the house. Obviously, we've got a downspout coming right here that was feeding this whole problem. In fact, when you looked inside the basement, this was where all the water was. It was just in this space. So the first thing we want to do is somehow take that water away from the house. Secondly, we've got our tar-based material on the side of the house. It's going to stop the vapor from coming through. And then we've also got our drain board on here, so when the water hits it, it's going to drain down to the bottom. Now you notice this is a pretty deep hole. We've got a gas pipe right here, and it's very narrow. You can see the machinery over there. This is why we say when you do a project like this, make sure you bring in the professionals. I could not ever imagine myself, first of all, trying to get that machine in here as close as that is to the house and digging this hole. And secondly, this here, you don't ever want to touch a gas pipe. So again, call before you dig as well. They came out, they marked all these for us. We knew where they were, and we were able to excavate around them and dig all this out by hand. So then the last piece coming in here is we are going to bring in drain rock. We're going to bring in a drain pipe as well to pick up this water, and then we're going to have a pump down in this hole. But basically any water that hits the wall is going to come down to the bottom, go into this drain, go into the pump, and we're going to pump it out away from the house. So by the time we're done with this project, we're looking at anywhere between $6,000 and $10,000 a cost to bring in the excavation, do all the waterproofing, fill it back up and take care of it and pump that water out. You know, the cost to not do it may be a whole lot greater. Obviously, this wall will eventually break down with all this water coming through it. Then it could be an entire foundation that needs to be repaired. And the second piece is obviously we've got mold and mildew in the basement, and breathing that in day after day after day, long term, the consequences of that, honestly, I don't really know, but I imagine they could be a little bit dangerous. So something you want to get taken care of. Get taken care of it during the dry season is the best. It's been nice for us because it's been dry this whole week, and we were able to get this done in about 2.5 days.